Hello everyone. In today's class, let us discuss example for linear separable cases or more examples for single layer perceptron. We have seen the derivation for both single layer perceptron as well as the multi-layer perceptron. In order to understand better and to design the neural network for the given examples, let us take more examples so that we can design a neural network for any given problem. Now for the simplicity, let us take the AND gate, which involves binary arithmetic operations. So the AND gate, as we all know, that it takes x1, x2 and then y as an output for 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0 and 1, 1, 1. So what we are going to expect is that the output of the AND gate should be 1 whenever both the inputs are high. Okay. Now let us plot this in the linearly or in this space for both the x1 and x2. Suppose if we plot given x1 and then x2 for 0, 1, 0 and then 1. Okay, for the input 0, 0, the value 0 goes something like this. So let me mark this as 0 and 0, 1. So this will goes as 0. Okay, this is 0 and then 1, 0, again it goes 0, and then if both values are 1, then it goes as 1. All other places have the value 0. Okay, in this case we can see that all these values for the input x1, x2. So what is this? This is x1 and this is x2. For the input x1 and x2, okay, other than the value 1, 1, all are grouped over here. So we can have simply a linear boundary which can separate these two groups by a single straight line of something like this. Okay, let me extend this further. Fine. Okay, there could be many possible solution for this straight line. So instead of this straight line, I can have a straight line of something over like this. So this is also correct. Okay, there could be many possible solution which can able to separate these AND gates in the feature space, which can be linearly separable. Okay, so the solution for different linear decision boundary, we can arrive at different weight vectors which will able to classify the given output in the linear space into a single straight line. So this is possible, and this is an example for the linearly separable cases. So as we understood that if at all the features are linearly separable, we can design a single layer perceptron for such kind of problem. So definitely there is a possibility to go for the single layer perceptron for this AND gate. So let us consider, or let us design a single layer single output neural network which imitates this AND gate. Okay, so now let us go for design of single layer single output neural network which imitates this AND gate. Okay, so what we should have in case of a single layer single output, we should have an input layer. So the input layer is nothing have any role other than simply passing the input. So we should have x1, x2. In addition with that, we should have a bias, and then only one neuron, because one neuron is sufficient in the output layer, and then all these are getting connected, okay, to this neuron. Okay, as I said that this neuron has the two component. One is the summation adder followed by a nonlinear function. So this will be an x1, this will be an x2, and this will be a bias which is 1, and the output of this neuron is nothing but y. Okay, so this will do the summation followed by the nonlinear function, and we have to represent the weight vectors which connects, suppose this is the w. So as I discussed yesterday, this is only one neuron in the output layer, so which can go w11, w21, and this is w01, because it is the value of this is x0 and the x0 value takes 1, and then the patterns for this x1 x2. Okay, first we have to give the pattern 0 0, this is pattern 1, and then next we have to give 0 1, this is pattern 2, and then 1 0 which is pattern 3, and then 1 1, and we have to design a neural network which will work for all these inputs, possible inputs, and whatever the expected output y, okay, should work same as what we are getting in the AND gate truth table. Okay, this is a simple neural network. Now we have to only decide the weight vectors. So as I said that you can choose for an initial weight vector and then check for the y value. If at all there is an error for each input possible values, then we have to update the weight vectors. Okay, so this is the procedure, but let me not go for updating the weight vectors. Let me give the weight vectors which will work correctly for this AND gate. Okay, as w01, w11 and w21 as minus 1.5, 1 and 1. So it's a weight vector. So let me represent this as minus 1.5, 1, 1. Okay, and the y actually takes of the form, so it takes the summation of wi xi, where I ranges from 0 to 2. 0 includes bias, and then 1 2. There are two features component in the feature vector. Okay, and then we have to apply a nonlinear function which is a simple threshold value. Okay, which is nothing but a linear equation. Okay, linear equation of this neuron, output of this neuron is nothing but a linear equation which can also call as a single straight line, which can able to separate these space. Okay, given input space x1 x2 in the feature space linearly. So that's the idea. Now let us take these values. So now if we have y equal to, given this w1 into x1 plus w2 into x2 plus this bias, okay, which is w0. Okay, w1, the value of w1 is 1, so x1 plus x2, okay, and the value of bias is minus 1.5. Okay, now if we substitute the value of 0 0 for the pattern 0 0 x1 0 0, so if we substitute 0 0 for the x1 x2, now what we may get is that minus 1.5, and if we substitute the value 0 1, we may get is 0.5, and then 1 0, the output what we may get is 0.5, and for the input 1 1, what we may get is plus 0.5. Okay, this is the output of the adder, which is summation value. Now on top of that we have to apply the nonlinear function. Now let us take the simple hard threshold nonlinearity. So the hard threshold nonlinearity says that if at all the output is greater than 0, okay, that will be 1. If it is less than 0, all the output is 0. So there is only one output whose value is greater than 0. So this will output as 1 and all other will output as 0. And this is the expected output y, which is same as the truth table of the AND gate. So since these two are satisfied, we can able to design a simple neural network for these weight vectors, where the weight vector, design of weight vector is much important in order to implement the AND gate function. So the value of this weight vector for the AND gate minus 1.511. Okay. Note down, this is not the only weight vectors which will work correctly for the linearly separable cases. Since there could be multiple number of linear equations are possible, we can go for different weight vectors which can work well, or which will able to classify these output samples in the space correctly. Okay. So this is one example. Now let us consider the next example similar to this AND function. Now let us consider the OR gate. Okay. So the OR gate is also takes of the form x1, x2, and then the y is the output. For 0, 0, 0, if any one of the value is present, then the output will be 1, or both the value is present, the output will be 1. So this is the simple truth table of OR gate. Now let us plot this in the feature space consisting of x1 and then x2. So this is 0, 0, then 1, 1. For 0, 0, the output is 0. Okay. And 0, 1, 0, 1, the output is 1, and then 1, 0, the output is 1, and 1, 1, the output is 1. Okay. Now you can see here is also since all these ones can able to group together, we can have a straight line that can able to separate these feature space by a single straight line. Here again there could be many possible ways that can able to separate these classes. So this is another way which can work very well. Okay. So there could be many possibilities of weight vectors are possible, but now let us consider that this OR function, since it is linearly separable in the feature space, we can definitely have a single layer perceptron which will imitate the OR gate functionality. Now let us go for single layer, single output neural network which imitates this OR gate. So as before, what should we have? As before, we should have the input layer, and then we should have one output layer, where output layer consisting of only one neuron, and all these are gets connected with these, okay, through a weight vector, and this is y. This will have the sum adder followed by the nonlinear function, and this will have x0, x1, and then x2. The value of x0 is 1, which is nothing but the bias, and x1, x2, as before, it will take pattern p1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and then 1, 1. And we have to check for all these possible input whether we are able to get the y value as given in the truth table or not. Okay. Now what is left out is to decide w0, w1, and then w2, the weight vectors. Now let us go the weight vector. W0 is nothing but 0.5, W1 1, and then W2 1. With this, let us check whether it can able to generate the correct results or not. So now given this weight vectors, I can write y as W1 into x1, okay, W1 into x1 plus W2 into x2 plus the bias term, which is W0 multiplied with the W0, the value is 1, and then 1 multiplied by minus 0.5, what we will get is minus 0.5 here. Okay. X0 value is 1. Okay. So now W1 value is 1. So x1 plus x2 Okay, double x naught value is 1, so w naught value is minus 0.5, so we will get the equation of something like this. Now we have to check for all possible values of 0 0. Now let us take 0 0. Okay, for the values of x1 x2 0 0, it will produce minus 0.5, and for the next input pattern 0 1, it will produce 0.5, and then next input value 1 0, it will produce 0.5, and then the last input value 1 1, it will produce 1.5. Now let us check whether it produces the result as before correctly. Now we have seen that for the value which is less than 0, negative value we will assign simply 0, and if it is greater than 0 we will assign a 1. So this is a simple hard threshold. Non-linearity that we are choosing is hard threshold, and this will also produce the expected result. Okay, so this is the actual results, and it is same as with the expected results. So with this weight vector, this also, the operation of OR function is also able to design with the single layer, single output neural network. Now let us come to the other example, which is also called as XOR gate. Now let us consider the XOR gate operation. Now we know, given x1 x2 y, the output of the XOR takes, if both are have the same value, the output will be 0. If any one of the value is present, the output will be 1. So 1 1. So this is the operation of the XOR gate. Okay. Now let us plot this in the feature space consisting of x1 and then x2. Okay, having values 0 0 1 1. Okay, 0 0, it goes 0 0, the value is 0, and then 0 0 1, it goes to 1, and then 1 0, it goes to 1, and then it goes to 0. Okay, now you can see that it is not possible to separate these outputs using single straight line. Okay, because this 0 0, we cannot have a single straight line which can able to separate or put together in one group. So what we should have is, we should require at least two separate line which can able to group all ones in one region and all zeros in the other region. Okay, so the region in between these two lines belongs to the y output, which is class, let's say 1 belongs to class omega 1, and the region output outside of this region or belongs to class omega 1, which is 0. Okay, so definitely it is not possible to have a single straight line for this problem. So we cannot have the equation of a single straight line which can divide the space into such sort of the region. So naturally a single layer neural network cannot give us a solution for this problem. So we cannot design a solution using single layer, single output, or single layer multiple output possibly. So exactly this kind of situation where the region is not able to separate linearly, as I said before, we have to go for the multiple layer neural network, which is also called as multi-layer perceptron. Okay, now it is possible to solve this problem using multi-layer perceptron. Now let us discuss how to design such multi-layer perceptron neural network for this XOR operation. Okay, now till now what we have seen is that we have taken the linear combination, which is Wi into Xi. The given input we have considered as same Xi multiplied with Wi, where I ranges from 0 to n. This will give the equation of a linear equation, which is nothing but the equation of a single straight line. which is same as we can write W transpose into X. Okay, now what we are going to use, or what we are going to do in the in case of multi-layer perceptron, we try to map the given input space into an intermediate space using some nonlinear function. Okay, and that nonlinear function, because of that nonlinear function, all these inputs that are getting mapped into the intermediate space are get linearly separable. So that's the idea. Now till now what we have seen is that we have taken the input as such. Okay, there is no change in the input, but what we are going to do in case of multiple layer perceptron, if you can recall, we have applied some nonlinear function which was sigmoidal nonlinear function. Here we are not going to apply a sigmoidal nonlinear function, instead simple nonlinear function that we do apply, but the idea remains same. The idea is to take the input space not as such, but instead it will try to transform that given input into another space, which is also called as psi of I. This is psi of I is nothing but the any nonlinear operation, and then you try to map in that space, and in the intermediate space all these features are getting separated using linear space or using a single straight line. So this what we can call as psi I the x. Okay, we are applying some nonlinear function to the input feature vector x, which is also represented as psi I of x, where psi I of x is a nonlinear function. So this is the idea, which will try to map in the other space or the intermediate space, and then we are trying to solve the solution in the intermediate space where all these features are getting separable in the intermediate space. This is the idea. Now for that, what we are going to do for this XOR problem, it is become from the digital logic circuit, we have seen that the XOR operation can be broken into several small components as follows: x1 plus x2, okay, multiplied by x1 and then x2 bar. So what is this? So this is nothing but x1 or x2, this is the OR operation, and then x1 bar, okay, not, or x2 not. Okay, this is nothing but the NAND operation. This is NAND, NAND operation, and this is nothing but the OR operation. Okay, so this is same as when you take x1 multiplied by x2 and then take bar. Okay, so take the AND operation and then complement of this. So this is x1 complement or x2 complement. Okay, the XOR operation can be written using the several small component as follows. Now let us do in the space as follows. Okay, now keep this. Using this, we have to transform the actual input value into the space. Now let me rewrite that. x1 or x2 can be x1 plus x2 multiplied by x1 complement plus x2 complement. Okay, now we have x1, x2, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, and then this, let me write as h1 as x1 or x2. So this is nothing but simple OR function. Okay, now the OR function output that we know, so let us write that. Okay, if any one of the value is present, the OR will result 1. Now let us write this x1, which can be mapped into h2, x1 complement plus x2 complement. Okay, so this is nothing but NAND operation. So the NAND operation, the output that what we get is 1, 1, 1 and then 0. Okay. Now finally, these are the intermediate mapping. Okay, the actual x1, x2 value, which is here x1, x2 gets mapped into the intermediate space, which is h1 and then h2. Now we have to take h1 multiplied by h2, which is nothing but the AND operation. Okay, now we have to take the AND operation of this. So what we may get is 0, 1, 1 and then 0. Okay, now let us draw this transformed, actually this x1, okay, as we have seen that x1 is not taken as such, but we have taken some nonlinear function psi I of x. Here the nonlinear function is nothing but this h1, which is nothing but the OR operation. So this is the resultant of this is h1. Okay, similarly h2 is also some psi I of x or xi. Psi I can go here or here, both are same, xi, psi I of x or x. Okay, every individual component, if we refer, then we can write like this, or if we have write in terms of vector, simply we can write like this. Okay, where x is a vector consisting of every component transformed into the intermediate step using the function called psi I. Now after we obtain h1 and h2, now let us draw this in the intermediate space, how it looks like. Let us draw this. This is h1 and this is h2. Now given this 0, 0 and then 1, 1. Okay, 0, 1. Okay, 0, 1 gets mapped to 0. Okay, and then 1, 1. 1, 1 gets mapped to 1. Okay, and then 1, 1. h1 value, h2 value, 1, 1 gets mapped again to the 1. So let me circle. This is for one more mapping into the same point, and then 1, 0 get mapped. This 1, 0 get mapped into the point, something like this. Now you see here 2 1s are mapped into the same points and then 0, 0. Now you can see that it is possible to have a linear equation which can able to separate in the intermediate step. Okay, this is in the intermediate mapping or intermediate space where it could able to separate in the intermediate space. So this is the idea of applying a nonlinear function in the multiple layer perceptron. Now here the nonlinear function, we are not taking a nonlinear function, instead we have used a simple OR operation and the simple NAND operation. But if you go for actual multi-layer perceptron, where the boundaries are so complicated, we have applied the sigmoidal function. The reason is sigmoidal function is can have a derivative. Since it is it have its own derivative function, it is easy to apply mathematical or take a mathematical operation in case of multiple layer perceptron. Now once we have concluded that it is able to have a linear, I mean all these values are can able to separate linearly, then we can go now to design a multiple layer perceptron to implement this XOR operation. Now let's go how to do that. Okay, so now what we have to do is that let us design a multiple layer perceptron, because using single layer perceptron we cannot get the solution for the XOR operation. Now XOR imitation using multiple layer perceptron. Okay, so as I said that, so how many layers we should have? One layer for the input, one layer as the output, and one layer to do this operation H1 and then H2. Okay, so now let us draw that. The input can go as previously, and then let us have one node which will perform the OR operation, which is same as H1 here, and the other one is to perform the NAND operation, and then these two gets mapped over here. Okay, so now let me have this. This is the input. Now given this input, now we have to design this. Okay, so now you know that from every node we should get connected. Similarly, this also get connected. And this also get connected, and from here what we should go is this. Then we should have a bias. Okay, we should have a bias for this, and this is the output. Okay, which is Y. Now let us give the value over here. As before, this is x0, x1 and then x2, and this is going to perform OR operation, and this is going to perform NAND operation. Okay, and we have to go for the giving the weight values. So what is this? This is 0 in which layer? This is at the 0th layer. Okay, or we can represent this is x1 in the first layer, this is x2 in the first layer, and this is x1 in the second layer. Okay, all these terms are discussed in the derivative function, and this can be represented as W0 1, and then this is nothing but W0 2. This is W 1 1, and this is W 1 2. This one W 2 1, this is W 2 2. Also we have to represent where it gets connected. So let me represent all this getting connected to the layer 1. Okay. Similarly, we should write this weight vector as W, this is 1. Okay, 1 gets connected with 1, 2, and then W 2 1 2. Okay, and this weight goes W 0 1 and goes to the second layer. So all these are same as we discussed in the multiple layer perceptron. Now let us see from the previous example the weight vector for the OR gate. So what is the weight vector for the OR gate? Remember that in the OR gate the weight vector that we have used is 0.5 1 1. Okay, so the same we are going to use 0.5 1 1. Similarly, the weight vectors for AND gate, the AND gate that we have used is minus 1.5 1 1. Okay, but we want the weight vectors for the NAND gate. Okay, so we are taking the negative of that weight vectors, which turns out to be 1.5 and then minus 1 and then minus 1. Okay, we are simply taking the negative of that will become the weight vector for the NAND gate. Now we will simply assign these weight values in this multi-layer perceptron. Okay, for the OR operation, so this is the OR operation. Now let us assign the weight vector. So the OR operation, this is minus 0.5, and what is this? The OR operation. So this value can go 1, and then OR operation for this is weight 1. Okay, 0.5 1 1, which connects to OR operation. Now let me assign weight vectors for the NAND. Okay, so what is the weight vector that connects to NAND? W0 2 1 So let me assign in the blue point, which is 1.5, and this value takes minus 1, and this value takes again minus 1. Now let us apply this value in the matrix form. Okay. Now the matrix notation that we can write simply as I discussed. Okay. From x1, from where it is connecting, that we can put it in the column form. W01, W02, 1, and then W111, W121, similarly W211, and then W222. So the weight vector, okay, this can be represented as capital W. It's a matrix which connects to the layer which is 1. Okay, this is in the 0th layer, this is in the first layer, and this is in the second layer. Okay. Now we have to assign the weight vectors for this layer after computing this. Now let us compute what is the x1, x2 value. That has to go x1, x2 append with the value 1, okay, which is the bias. So now let us take this value minus 0.5 and then 1.5, then 1, okay, 1 minus 1 and then 1 minus 1. So this is in the matrix form, and the x1, x2. Now there are 4 possible patterns. So let me write the first possible value 0, 0, 0, 1, and then 1, 0, and then 1, 1 as before. But it has to append with the value 1. So I will simply append value at the below, at the above. So this is the input, possible input matrix. So capital X takes, this is nothing but your X pattern 1, and this is capital X pattern 2, this is capital X pattern 3, and this is pattern 4. Okay. Now given this, what we have to do, we have to take the dot product of this matrix. What we may obtain is something like this: 0.5, 0.5, and then 1.5, then 1.5, 0.5, 0.5, and then minus 0.5. Okay. Now this is the after taking the summation. It's what you are doing is the linear combination. That linear combination is same as put it in the matrix form and take the dot product. That will result something like this. This is the result of the adder unit. Now we have to apply, after this what we have to apply? We have to apply a simple threshold value. So this symbol is for the step threshold or the hard threshold. If we apply the step threshold or hard threshold, this is less than 0. So the value will go 0, 1, 1, 1, and then 1, 1, 1, and this goes to 0 value. Okay. Now whatever we have obtained here, this is XR. Okay. So what we can say, this is nothing but your H1 value. Okay. For all possible value, and this is the H2 value. So the H1, okay, H1 can go, the output of this H1 is 0, 1, 1, 1 when the input is 0, 0, when the input is 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, and so on. Similarly, the output of H2 is 1, 1, 1, 0 for the input 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So that's the meaning. Now once we obtain H1 and then H2, okay, now the output of this H1, H2 has to multiply with this weight vector, which is W012, W112, and then W21 in order to get the result at the output. So what is the result that we have to apply is the AND operation. So we have to take this as an input. Okay, let us proceed that. So let us take the input in the form of matrix itself, and then we have to apply a weight matrix, a suitable weight matrix. Now given this H matrix, I'll do a transformation. Then we have to append with the bias. So do not forget to append the bias also is there. So let me transform into the H transformation, that will turns out to be 0 1 1 1 and then 1 1 1 0. Okay, this H I have transformed into H transform. So as a result, that what we get is this, and then this has to append with the value 1, which is a bias. So 1 1 1 1. Okay, this is now H transform. Now we have to assign the weight value. Now let us take the weight value, which is 1.511. Ideally we should find out all this value using the formula or using the derivative procedure as we discussed before. Now let us finalize this weight vector is 1.511. Now that we have taken as such 1.5 and then 1 and then 1. With this H transform, this is the weight vector in the matrix which is connecting to the second layer. So when we take a dot product of this, we may obtain the output in the output of something like this. Okay. So now after this is the result of the adder unit. Then after that, what we have to apply? Simple nonlinear step function. The output that we may get is 0 1 1 0. Okay. So this is the output that we may obtain when the input x value is 0 0. Okay. So when we are giving the 0 0 value, the obtained output is 0, and when it is 0 1, the obtained output is 1 1 0 1 and then 1 1 is 0. So the actual value is matched with the expected value. So there is a solution to implement this XOR function, but not with the help of single layer perceptron, but we have to go for a multiple layer. So in this case, we have shown the design of a multi-layer perceptron, which is of this form. Okay. So this is the hidden layer, and this is the input layer, and this is the output layer. Thank you.